now here with Bonnie Wright, the person that many girls are going to be very, very jealous of after they see this film. Now, I'm not going to say why. I don't want to give it away.
Don't give it away.
But what was it like doing that scene with Daniel?
It was exciting. It was weird. I think we filmed, obviously with each other for so long. We've kind of known each other. I was 9 when I started. He was 11. So it's weird. It's kind of doing something like that with like a brother or sister. It's a strange feeling.
So we all want to know, are there any pranksters on set? Like, who's the goofiest, silliest one?
God, I think we were all pretty silly when we were younger. We always used to muck around, but I think from being, within the Weasley household, we kind of always have a laugh when we're on set. I think Ginny Walters and Rupert kind of definitely play, a fun pair in making everyone laugh, really. I think just the giggling, I think a lot of us can't really control when we're on set laughing.
Sounds like a good time. Well, I'll let you have fun tonight. Bonnie, nice to meet you. Back to you, Carl.
Really exciting, definitely. So many people, it's been amazing.
Now, what is the major difference between this film and the previous five?
I think really in this film, both the darker side get even darker and chilling. There's so many moments in this film where characters have got like pure evil within their kind of look, and then also the comedy and the romance balances that. So it's kind of a mixture of so many different emotions. I think they're going all over the place, really.
And you and the cast have sort of grown up on camera. I mean, how does it feel to have the world watching you?
It's weird. I think as you grow older, you're not seeing yourself grow up, so you can never really reflect. It's like when an auntie comes like 10 years later and goes, "Oh, I remember when you were little." I can't see that. But in like 20 years' time, I'm sure when I look back at the film, I'll see all of us grow older. I think when you look at other people, I can recognise it more. You see Dan and Rupert with like high-pitched voices. It's amazing.
For you, we know that there's going to be a lot more emotions involved. You guys are teenagers. What can you tell us as far as, what's going to happen? Is there going to be any kind of kissing, smooching? Because all the fans want to know.
I mean, obviously in this film there's kind of the relationship that Ginny has with Harry, so there's that moment, which, and to be honest, this film has loads of it. It's almost like a romantic comedy, I think this film turns into. It's quite exciting, and I guess it's that moment when you're that age and you're discovering things like that, and it's quite sweet.
And did it feel that way in real life, given that you two have worked together for so long?
It's strange. I think you grow up in such kind of, we're all there together for so much time. It almost feels like you're a family with everyone. So luckily it didn't, it's quite awkward, it's quite weird, but it was fun.
Was there a lip lock? Was there a kiss?
Yeah, there is one in this
How many takes?
I don't know, we did it for like 2 days. There's probably like 30 takes, but yeah.
A lot of chapstick.
Yeah, lipstick.
Hi Bonnie, Emerson Sparks from MuggleNet.com. So I know you've got to be sick of hearing questions like this by now, but one of our readers wanted to know, was it awkward kissing Dan when you're taller than him?
Oh, really? To be honest, without these heels, I'm pretty much the same height. So, but it was weird. I guess we've known each other for so long, so it almost feels like we're still the age when we started. But, yeah.
Are there any scenes from the next movie, Deathly Hallows, that you're looking forward to filming in particular, as your character has a much more important role?
Yeah, there's a lot of things. I'm really excited, to be honest. The best thing I'm really excited for is the epilogue. 14 years later, when we're sort of married with children. It seems so surreal, but yeah.
Okay. If you could keep any item from the set as a souvenir, what would you want to keep?
I know it sounds really probably boring to a lot of people, but I spent so much time in the Gryffindor jumpers and the cloaks. I'd probably take that, although it's quite simple. It has such a kind of, memory for me.
Great, thank you very much, Bonnie.
Thank you.
Last film?
I think it's very different. The romance that happens between Ginny and Harry is kind of much more long-lasting, as we know, kind of ends up as the final thing. And I guess it probably took the pressure off me. It wasn't this first kind of Harry's first kiss. That wasn't this one. But yeah, it's much more intimate and like I say, long-lasting and a bit more tender.
Right.
So.
And Ginny turns out to be a lot more aggressive than we thought because she really kisses him.
Yeah, pretty much. I think she takes the reins. I think this film actually gives quite a lot of power to girls. Kind of shows them sort of maturing much quicker than guys.
Right. And I know as book 7 ends, we get the flash forward and you become the bride of Harry Potter.
Yeah.
Are we going to see anything like maybe a wedding that's something that wasn't in the book? Is there anything written into the film?
I don't know. I think Joe Rowling specifically never had this sort of wedding scene between Harry and Ginny, only in that there'd probably be so much pressure behind that moment. And it's quite sweet how suddenly we jump and they're putting their children on the Hogwarts Express. So.
Right. Is there anything that you haven't gotten to do in a Potter film that you really wish you could?
Oh, I don't know. I think I just love. I mean, if I was looking at other characters to play, I think that would always be really enjoyable. I think I always love I think obviously she's such a there's so much good within her. It'd be amazing to play, I don't know, someone like Bellatrix Lestrange. I think Helen Bonham Carter does such an amazing job.
And it's interesting because when we saw you in like the first film, you didn't have a lot of lines, and it's really been interesting to see as the books are written and the role grew. Were you just getting more and more excited and like, I hope they re-sign me and I hope I get to do this? And
Yeah, I think when you read the books, I think to be honest, at first you've really got to just read the books as a book. You can't like concentrate too much on the character, otherwise you get a bit sort of all over the place. But yeah, it was exciting. I couldn't pretend that every time I read the book I was excited for and joined, back to the movie.
Thank you.
You're fabulous. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Last one right here.
Really nervous about kind of being with Harry Potter and all those guys in this one?
I know, it was quite nerve-wracking. I mean, I think I wasn't really nervous about being with everyone because we've all been with each other for so long. So it wasn't that kind of was a nerve-wracking moment. It was probably the pressure that's on this character to sort of, finally become, Harry's, the chosen one, sort of final woman. So, yeah, I really hope that, all the fans enjoy how, I played the character.
Did you find, which romance did you find more surprising? Yours and Harry's or Ron's and Hermione's?
I don't know. I think Ron's and Hermione's has actually come out of almost nowhere. I think the tension has been building, but I always kind of assumed when I read the books that it would never really happen because it just seems so weird that they would end up together. So I probably was really excited about theirs, and obviously we yet to see it in the 7th film, so I'm very excited for that.
And this film shows a lot of awkward teen. Is it as awkward filming the romance scenes as it is kind of viewing it in the film?
I think so. I mean, we've known each other for so long, and then when it finally comes together, you have all these memories of the film, and then you see it in the cinema, and you're kind of watching other people watch it. It's so surreal. I think you just have to disconnect yourself with her.
And Bonnie, do you feel if you were in Ginny's shoes, would you be going after someone like Harry?
I definitely think he's a pretty, I think he's such a heroic, he's the hero of these amazing stories, and he's brave and he's smart and he's he's so loyal to his friends. So I definitely think he's probably if I was Ginny, I'm sure I'd go for him.
And do you feel that, as Ginny is supposed to be a very powerful, the 7th daughter, supposed to be extremely powerful. Did you feel that was kind of a huge thing to live up to?
I think it is. I guess she's the only girl in this massive family, and it's a definite kind of responsibility because she's obviously growing so much older than she kind of grows up quicker than all the guys. So there is a bit of pressure behind it, but I think from knowing her now since I was 9, playing her, I feel kind of a bit confident in her shoes.
Hello. Hi. Everyone always wants to know, who are you wearing tonight?
I'm wearing Prada tonight.
Oh, very nice. Thank you. You played Quidditch for the first time in the movie. What was that like?
Really exciting. I think so many people are different. I don't know, actually, I got quite mixed messages from everyone. Some people it's really painful, and some people it's really exciting. But stepping onto the broom was quite a weird experience. I think if you're afraid of heights, it's not one to do. But no, it was weird. I think from when you see it all put together in the movie, it just looks so different from when you're there. It happens so quickly. We filmed it for days, and then you go and it's 2 seconds, and you're I suffered all that pain for that. But yeah.
What was your favorite thing to film?
I really enjoyed, there's a moment that, this really dramatic scene when, the Death Eaters and Bellatrix attack the Weasley household, and it just really shows the sort of threat that the Weasley family are under from, having Harry in their home. But we did it as a night shoot, 2 a.m. in the morning, and there was all this, burning fire, and it was just really, it just felt like I was actually there, in the moment.
What are you most looking forward to in Deathly Hallows?
I think I'm actually looking forward to, hopefully they include it, but I'm hopefully, they're sort of still in discussion now, but I'm kind of really wanting to do the epilogue, the bit when they go 14 years later and there's the children, and it just seems so surreal to be aged 14 years. Thank you.
Any other projects outside of Harry Potter?
Well, we finish in April next year, and I'm going to film school in September, so I'm studying for another 3 years at university.
What scene is missing from the Half-Blood Prince that you wish was in it?
Ooh, I think if I've got the right book, there's really bad, but if there's, that moment when they're sort of all playing Quidditch outside the burrows in the summer, that didn't get put in the movie, so.
Do you think you're going to start your own website like Emma did?
Not really. I haven't really thought about that actually. I guess I could, but I don't know. There's so many websites out there that. No, not yet. I think I want to save my website for a couple of years' time when I'm doing some bigger projects.
Also, Tom and Matthew both have their own Twitter accounts. Have you ever thought of making one?
A what?
A Twitter?
Not really. I don't know. I think with all those things on the internet, you can they just take over part of your life. I think I prefer to live here rather than through a phone or on the internet.
Can you talk a little bit about your expanded role in this movie? Were you nervous about taking on
everyone sort of read these books, and they all had their own vision of these, the characters. So there was a certain kind of element of pressure, but to be honest, it's sort of outweighed by excitement. I was so looking forward to having much more to do with the film.
Now, in the seventh film, at least in the first part, we don't really see Ginny that much. Have you been doing work on the film?
I don't actually start till after I get back from New York. I'm starting in like 2 weeks, so I haven't begun yet, so I'm probably as excited as everyone wanting to know how it's going.
Do you have the scene in the movie that was the most enjoyable to film?
I think there was Quidditch in this film, which I kind of become part of, and I think it really shows Ginny's sort of quite feisty and outgoing and sort of fearless kind of side to her. I guess from having all these brothers, she's quite she's got a tomboy edge to her, and I think I really enjoyed playing those parts.
You're going to film school in London for directing or writing?
Yeah, I'm going in London, and it's kind of in the first year you sort of look at all elements like directing, cinematography, editing, cameraman, and then you sort of begin to focus on what you enjoy. Yeah, I was nervous at times. I think it's there's so much pressure. Everyone sort of read these books, and they all have their own vision of these, the characters. So there was a certain kind of element of pressure, but to be honest, it's sort of outweighed by excitement. I was so looking forward to having much more to do with the film. Well, we finish in April next year, and I'm going to film school in September, so I'm studying for another 3 years at university. The darker side get even darker and chilling. There's so many moments in this film where characters have got like pure evil within their kind of look, and then also the comedy and the romance balances that, so it's kind of a mixture of so many different emotions. I think they're going all over the place, really. Reading, obviously, when we were doing the sixth film, the seventh had come out, the seventh were going to come out, so I think you've got to sort of imagine that's not there in order to sort of make it realistic. I guess no one knows that their own destiny, so you've got to kind of imagine that what happens doesn't happen and sort of be in the moment. I think luckily it's happened for me now. I think it's been amazing to sort of develop this kind of strength and importance of the character. So no, it's been really fun, really. I mean, I've learned probably more in this film and in the last film than I have in all of them, really. I don't know, I guess from being in, I think what I've gained from sort of joining more the three of them is just working on a smaller scale. Like there are so many scenes in Harry Potter which are just massive. There's like hundreds of people in a shot. So it's been lovely just to work literally with just kind of a really intimate sort of space. It's like having to do it with like a brother or a cousin or something. That's pretty much how weird it is.
This is